this Flyover Clip.
Let's talk about hemispheres. Because there's some things that have always bugged me about the hemisphere thing. We used to do a lot of traveling. We'd be in Brazil. We'd do public speaking, and we were in a lot of places. You can't, unless it's changed. This was my big question. I think we had this first time we talked, and I can't remember exactly how you frame it, but I've always had this question. You can't really fly from like Australia directly to Sao Paulo, Brazil, even though that would be the best way to get there on a globe. You can't go.
The best way would just be whoop, right across the bottom, right over Antarctica, right. But you're not allowed to disturb the penguins. So you have to go around. Okay.
And the way I understand this, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, because this isn't, again, my field of expertise, but you can't fly somewhere on the southern hemisphere to somewhere else on the southern hemisphere without going into the northern hemisphere. But if you're flying in the northern hemisphere, you never go to the southern hemisphere to get to somewhere else in the northern hemisphere. Am I saying that right?
Let me say it slightly different. You got your equator around the middle, so everything above it's the north and everything below it's the south. Now, let's say how many airports are there above the equator in the north? I don't know, 10,000, whatever number of airports. So you throw all the airports into a bingo machine and you pick out any two airports. Doesn't matter where they are. Doesn't matter if they're next to each other. Doesn't matter if one's over here and the other one's over here. Okay. And then you say, what's the flight route to go from one to the other? And every single flight route will never cross the equator. No sense to going down and then back up. That makes no sense. Well, that's logical and it's truth. No northern flight to a northern airport to any other northern airport ever goes below the equator. Well, if the Earth is a globe, there's some symmetry to that. No southern airport to any other southern airport would ever go into the north, but that's not the case. Okay, that's not the case at all. And so why is that? Well, it's because the Earth is flat. Let me show you some examples of some flights. We recently had the World Cup, and so they're in Doha. They're leaving on their own chartered plane. They don't have to go pick up other passengers. They don't have to do anything. They leave. They go to Rome for more fuel, and then they go from Rome to Buenos Aires. Well, why didn't they just go from Doha to Buenos Aires? It's about the same distance. Well, the reason is because Doha is here on a flat Earth map. They stop for fuel here because you can't get fuel here in the middle of the ocean. And then they continued all the way down. It's a straight line. Let's just say that's a coincidence. Maybe we can find something else. Okay. Here's a flight from Auckland to Cape Town. Okay. Well, it should just be able to go from Auckland, New Zealand, right over here, right across. So let's go around. We don't want to disturb the penguins. Remember Antarctic Treaty. We'll get to that if you want.
Yep.
That's the shortest route, but they go all the way up across the equator into the north. They stop in Dubai and they go to Cape Town. That's a straight path. This is, if you show that on an Earth, it goes way up and over the ball and way back down. Okay. And people say, well, they have to stop and pick up other passengers. Then you see something like this, California to the UK, and it's taking, this is a great circle route, over Newfoundland and Greenland, and it goes over. But if you draw a straight line on a flat Earth map, Newfoundland, Greenland, UK. Airplanes fly straight and level over the Earth plane.
That's one of the most compelling things for me in how does this work? Because
let me ask you that.
That's so practical.
So you're in Germany. So you're up here, okay? And you're on a plane. So I put Germany at the top of the world. And you look that way, right on the horizon, and you see some stars. Okay? You see some stars on the horizon. So now if you flew down to the equator, that star on the horizon is now over your head, right? Because you dove down, right? So if the star is here, and I can't hold. So I'm looking at the star. You're the star, okay? So you're on my horizon. But if I go here, well, you're now over my head because my head is the top of my hand, right? Makes sense? Okay. So this is a plane going from Germany to Brazil, right? And it's doing a time lapse. Now these stars should be processing all the way up over his head, but they're not. They're just doing their little movement. So this is reality. Now, this is what Google Earth says it would look like. These stars are rising up as you're diving over the Earth. They're rising up. This is what Google Earth, the program run by Google, the good guys, they're the good guys. Don't be evil. Okay, that's what they used to say. Right? And this is reality. This is actual reality. Which one are you going to believe? Reality or Google Earth?
Well, and Google Earth is sort of presented as reality, because they got a picture of
Google Earth.
they got a picture of your driveway on there. I mean, it's all obviously these are all based on satellite photos. I mean, that's how it's presented.
A cartoon. Yeah, Google Earth is literally a cartoon. Let's look at some emergency landings. Okay.
Yes.
So sometimes on a flight, people die suddenly. It's been happening a lot lately, but let's just say they died suddenly. Okay. And so here's a flight from New York to Hawaii. About here, there was an emergency. So they flew like over 1,000 miles out of the way and landed in Seattle. And they got there really fast. Like, wait a minute, that should take 2 hours to get there. They got there in like 15 minutes. Well, New York, Seattle, right on its flight path, Hawaii, straight line. Okay. Emergency landings are destroying the globe. Let's look at another one. I want to look at a bunch of these. Okay.
Yeah, because for me, that is a compelling thing because it's actually documented. This is the flight number. This is the day. This is what happened. This is the situation.
Right. I'm going to tell people, don't believe anything I tell you. Don't believe anything. Go verify it yourself. I'm going to show you where to get this stuff. By the way, on my website, this book, 16 Emergency Landings, there's a link right there. It's a free PDF online, or you can buy the coffee table book. It's a great coffee table book. Okay. I'm not trying to sell you a book. I don't make anything off of it.
It's not even your book.
It's a great channel, Flat Earth Banjo. He puts out great work. I love the book because I leave it on my coffee table. Somebody comes over that's not a flat earther, they pick it up. I'll be like, all right, I'm not gonna say anything. Boom, they become flat earthers. It's amazing. It's literally like it's got like anthrax on it. You touch it, you're infected. Okay, we'll call it the flat Earth anthrax. All right. Emergency here, 1,500 miles out of the way to Moscow. Take 3 hours to get there. They got there in no time. What? Where is it? Look, Moscow's right on the flight route. Again, must be a coincidence, okay? Must be a coincidence. Here's one, Dallas to Beijing, okay? Dallas to Beijing, or where'd they go? Dallas to Beijing. They had an emergency. They went to Calgary, okay? Well, that's way out of the way, right? No, it's not. It's right on the flight route. It's right there. How many times does this need to happen for people to understand that we don't live on a spinning, ridiculous, scientifically impossible ball? Here's one: New York to Auckland, New Zealand. Right here, they had an emergency. Well, their destination's right here. Or Fiji is about the same distance out of the way. Where do you think they went? They went to Fiji. Why is that? Why'd they go to Fiji? Because New York, emergency, Fiji, it's right there. Right there on the flight route. Zoom in. Flight route. It's right there. How many times? Okay.
Walk through that scenario one more time and do it in a way. If somebody's on the treadmill and they're not looking at the screen real closely, walk through that scenario. Okay. People get up, they get dressed, they shave, they do one other thing. They get on a plane and they're in New York. Where are they headed? Yep. And this is a real scenario.
They're heading to Auckland, New Zealand. Let's just say this is 1,000 miles. Let me think. Is that about 1,000 miles? It's about 1,000 miles before they're there. 1,000 miles. So 2 more hours in the trip. 2 more hours. There's an emergency. Plane's got to land. Someone's having a baby. Somebody died. Pilot's having a heart attack. Who knows? Okay. And they need to land. Well, they went all the way over to Fiji, which is kind of equally as far. That's up almost 1,000 miles also. And they got there impossibly fast. Well, maybe they weren't, maybe they were flying off course. Maybe they were flying faster. You can make up excuses all you want. But when you look at it on a flat Earth map, they were heading towards their destination, right? On a stationary Earth. And Fiji was directly in their flight path. Directly in their flight path. Okay.
Man.
Let's take a little side pivot here for a second. Okay. Excuse me. All right. So the Earth is spinning at once a day. It's moving fast. So right here we have a flight that's taking off, and it wants to go to this destination, the red dot.
Okay.
So it's going from the blue dot to the red dot. So the pilot sets his destination and going, but the Earth is spinning. So if the Earth was stationary, he could fly from there to there. If the Earth is spinning, he has to take this route, this blue route, and every time he adjusts his setting, the location spins a little farther to the east, and so he has to keep turning, adjust. Now he's chasing, and he ends up at the red dot. Now, if the Earth was spinning, you'd say, well, that's like skeet shooting, right? It's like, okay, you know what? My destination's over here, but I'm going to head this way in a straight line, and the destination's going to spin. It's going to spin right to my location. So bam, just like skeet shooting, you shoot and it flies, and then you land right there. Okay. All of this is scientifically impossible. Airplanes fly straight and level over a stationary Earth plane. People, the Globers say, "Oh, you guys don't have a model." You don't have a model, and as a matter of fact, we kind of do have a model, right? Earth is level; it's not moving; it's stationary. Horizontal is horizontal. Vertical is vertical. Okay, and NASA, and we'll forget NASA, the FAA, on all of their experiments and aircraft design, they say in their documents, they say, we assume the Earth to be a level, non-rotating plane for this demonstration, for this experiment, for this test. A level, non-rotating plane. Where does globe come into level? Spinning globe in a space vacuum come into level, non-rotating plane?
And that's in like flight manuals or in their
it's in their documents, right? They're all over the place. And we have tons of videos showing them, and you can look them up yourself.
Okay.
Okay, last one, and then you go. Okay, so this one is this one's my favorite because this one hits home. Hong Kong, it was going to the UK, had to stop in Germany because this is a 12-hour flight, and 4 hours into the flight, a family's traveling together, Dave. Mother, small children, father, and the mother dies suddenly, dead in her seat. She's dead. 4 hours into the flight. So she's about here. There's probably 50 suitable airports that they could have landed at, but they flew for 8 more hours. Dead mom, sitting next to the children on a full flight for 8 hours. Could you imagine?
No.
Could you imagine? I always make the joke, which is it's just a joke. Could you imagine sitting next to your mother for 8 hours, let alone dead? Okay, right? That's a joke.
You'd be scarred.
I love my mother.
You'd be scarred.
Yeah, I love it. Scarred for life. So my thing is, well, why didn't they just finish the last hour of the flight and get over to the UK? Okay, why did they stop there? And the reason is because it's not where they were. 4 hours into the flight, they were over Russia. They're over Russia. Two things. In today's political climate, you can't land in Russia where Russia would go, oh, please let us help. Let us be the good guys, because that's what they would do. Oh, then wait a minute. Russia's the good guys? This could initiate peace. Okay, we can't let this happen. And the other thing is, people will be like, why are we flying over Russia? People think that we're not allowed to fly over Russia. Flights fly over Russia every single second of every single day. Okay? But they don't tell you you're over Russia.
Are you having a hard time sleeping at night, thinking, what am I going to do about my finances?
Times are really changing. They're changing fast. Let me give you a quick example of how. In 1920, if you had a $20 bill and 1 ounce of gold, you could go into any men's clothing store and buy an entire suit. You could buy the jacket, the shirt, the belt, shoes, the whole bit. Today, that $20 bill, what's it going to get you?
Not much.
Maybe the socks, maybe a handkerchief, but the 1 ounce of gold could still buy you the entire suit at any men's store in America. That's the difference. That's what inflation does to your dollar. It's a deflating dollar caused by inflation. Now today, that's happening faster than ever. You need somebody that you trust that can help get you out of a fake currency and into something that's going to keep you safe.
And we know a guy that has 2 PhDs by the name of Dr. Kirk Elliott. We have known him for over 25 years, and he's someone we completely trust.
You need somebody that you can get a hold of, somebody that's going to be there for you to get back out of it, and then maybe back into the stock market, maybe back into something else when things settle down. But right now is not that time. You need somebody that you trust and somebody you can call and make those worries go away.
That's exactly right. So you can go to flyovergold.com, fill out your information for a free consultation, or you can call 720-605-3900. Do it today.
You'll be glad you did.
Hey, Flyover family, we have a brand new sponsor for the Flyover Conservative Show, Heaven's Harvest. So exciting.
We've been really excited about this partnership because for about 2 years now, our level of awareness has increased on things that can go wrong in the world. Not just the big major stuff, but ice storms in Texas and things that you don't plan on. And I guess a level of personal responsibility of like, hey, we have people that we care for that depend on us. And so we've been tiptoeing into it, but it's overwhelming. It's like, what do I do next? And so we've made little steps in that process, but we've been asking everyone we know, everyone we respect in this space, hey, who's a good supplier of things? Who has food that you would actually eat if you had to, that without eating styrofoam that you'd be gagging down if you lost a bet? Like real actual food that if you put it away for storage, that when it came time to do it would be palatable, as well as heirloom seeds. A lot of the seeds nowadays, you plant them, they're not, you can't reproduce with them. They've been genetically modified and really messed up. So we've been asking people we really respect. Somebody we get a lot of advice from personally, and we've made a lot of small moves in our life from, is Seth Holhouse with Man in America. And we kind of went off of his lead as well as some others. And so we are super excited about this partnership because they're willing to give a massive discount to the Flyover family.
That's exactly right. When you go to heavensharvest.com and you use promo code FLYOVER, you get 10% off. What a great deal. We are so thankful and excited about this partnership.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
The best sleep just got even better. Whether you have a MyPillow or not, you need to get the brand new MyPillow 2.0. Call or go to MyPillow.com now. Use your promo code, and for a limited time when you buy one, you'll get a second one absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
Visit MyPillow.com.
Do your feet ache and throb in pain with every step you take every day of your life? Well, kiss those days goodbye with slippers from MyPillow.com. How about that flimsy, flat little excuse for a pillow that's nothing but 8 hours of disappointment, causing you pain in your neck every single night? You can wake up with nothing but butterflies and rainbows around your head with a MyPillow pillow. Those hardwood floors hurting your old bones? No more with a MyPillow dog bed. Are your towels worn thin, flimsy, more patchy than Joe Biden's memory? There's nothing better than absorbent towels from MyPillow.com. For all of these products and more, go to MyPillow.com and use promo code FLYOVER for up to 66% off.
For more great content, go to flyoverconservatives.com.